Hey everybody! So I have some really exciting news. The official Zensual Movement Sisterhood retreat is going to be happening October 19th through the 21st, and we're going to be having a guest speaker and facilitator. Her name is Alyssa Love. Hi, I just see her popping on. And she is going to be joining me on this Facebook Live, and we're going to be talking about Zensual Movement Sisterhood Retreat, what it's about, the content that's going to be in, and it's going to be so exciting. So, Alyssa, if you got the invitation, go ahead and pop on. Let's see. I see some hearts. Okay. I think it's going to add you now. Alrighty. So as she is coming on, as I was saying, the Zensual Movement is retreat.
Yay!
Hey, I'm so happy to be here.
Me too. I'm super excited. So excited.
Amazing.
Fixing my
Me too.
my um my tripod. But yeah, here I am.
Yeah, no worries.
Yay!
Perfect. So, Angel, can you go ahead and share a little bit about yourself to my community so they can get to meet you and know who this amazing woman is going to be, who will also be facilitating and speaking at the event with
Yes,
me?
absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. So I'm like
Yeah,
so
cool.
excited to be part of this. I feel like the work we do aligns so much, and
Totally.
really we have like the same goal for women. We're
Yeah.
empowering
Yeah.
women in our own way. And the way that I empower women is by helping them to tune back into their bodies through embracing their body as it is, right? So I work with a lot of women who have suffered with body dysmorphia or
Mhm.
disassociation from their body and have
Yeah.
used things like overeating or binge eating or yo yo dieting to try to
Mhm.
combat that. And so, what I do is help them to find the root of what is actually causing them to want to disassociate from their bodies,
Yeah.
and bringing a space of healing and being able to dive deeply into that so they can ultimately empower themselves, express themselves fully, and be able to tap into their bodies, right? I believe that our bodies are full of so much wisdom, and
Oh, yeah.
a lot of us are not tapped into that. And a big part
Mm.
of that is because our bodies have been this source of, complicated emotions for a long time. We've judged our
Yeah.
bodies. We've been told that we have to look a certain way. Our bodies have been objectified. And so a lot of us disassociate. And in that disassociation, we cut ourselves off from the guidance that we have within. And so that's my intention, life, is to
Yeah.
help
Yeah,
reconnect
I can
women
tell.
to, yeah, thank you, to their bodies and the wisdom that they hold in their wombs and every single cell. So
Mhm. That's so amazing. Yeah, I'm so thankful and grateful that we connected and for what you stand for, what you are sharing into the world, what you're teaching, what you just said, your message is, which is so beautiful. And I absolutely align. And I think that you're going to be bringing a very special element and energy to the Zensual Movement Sisterhood workshops because usually the Zensual Movement Sisterhood workshops focus on movement, focuses on sensuality, empowerment, healing, boundaries, all that. But it doesn't tackle nutrition or
mm-hmm.
what we're eating. And I
Right.
think that, I mean, there are exercises in Zensual Movement which focus on food as delicious and sensual, but it's not actually the work you're talking about. So I think that really coincides so well because how we feed ourselves really is an act of self love
Mm-hmm.
or a longing for love, right?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah,
so I
absolutely.
think that's a beautiful piece to put in there. And I'm really grateful for, what you're going to be providing and what you're going to be sharing with the women in the retreat because I think the wisdom you have is amazing and beautiful and really
Thank
just
you.
um, I think merges so well with the principles and the essence of Zensual Movement Sisterhood. So I'm really thankful and excited to have you be a part
Thank
of this.
you. Yes, I'm super excited. It's going to be
Yes,
so
good.
beautiful.
So now that you've introduced yourself to the people watching here, the women who are
Mm-hmm.
on my page who want to be coming to the Zensual Movement Sisterhood retreat, we're just going to be talking about what it is and what it will consist of.
Perfect.
So, we are going to be having 3 days. So, it's a 3 day retreat of 2 nights in Colorado in a gorgeous mansion in nature. It's going to be so
Mm-hmm.
enriching, so healing, so nourishing. There's going to be delicious organic cuisine served there. And each day will be focused on a different theme.
Mm-hmm.
So the first day is called purpose. The second day is pleasure. And the third day is play. So all of these tie so deeply into sensuality, into empowerment, to spirituality, to sisterhood, to healing, to reclaiming your truth, to finding your voice, to discovering your power, letting go of shame. All of that is deeply entrenched in these 3 words. So the
Mm-hmm.
first day is all about finding your purpose, discovering who it is that you are, discovering what's in your way of living your authentic sensuality, and what is in the way of tapping deeper into your femininity, and discovering what it is that you want to bring into this world, and exercises to support healing past pain, to support healing past trauma. All of that is so deeply connected to your sensuality as well. And then
Mm-hmm.
pleasure is so important because it's our capacity to enjoy.
Yes.
Sensuality is so deeply connected to our
Mm-hmm.
capacity to enjoy. And when I say enjoy, I mean be present to what's going on in life, to what you're experiencing, to your surroundings, to the taste, the sounds, the sights, the
Yeah.
people you're experiencing and interacting with. Do you sink into the moment in your body and feel what is around you and sense and notice everything and enjoy that instead of analyzing? Because analyzing, we're in our mind. But when we're enjoying, we're just noticing what makes us delight. And that is
Yeah.
such a deep part of sensuality. And so it's going to be fun dancing and different exercises to connect you into pleasure and the feeling of well-being in your body so that you can access your sensuality deeper, your femininity
Mm-hmm.
deeper, your empowerment deeper. And then it's also about cultivating joy. And then, Alyssa, if you want to share the exciting piece you'll be adding on the pleasure day.
Yes. So a big part of experiencing pleasure is also allowing ourselves to experience the full spectrum of emotions. So we oftentimes shut ourselves off to pain or discomfort or fear, and that ends up shortening like our capacity to feel pleasure on the other end, right? So I'm going
Yeah.
to be guiding us not to, dive into pain and that sort of thing, but to begin embracing that the dark side, right? The part of us that we see as dark or unacceptable or we shouldn't be expressing, right? And allowing ourselves to express every bit of our being and
Mm-hmm.
embracing every part of who we are, not just the parts that are acceptable socially or that people love and that people want to share, not just like the what do they call it, like the glory reel that they do like on
Highlight reels. Yeah.
highlight reel. Yeah, that's what it's called.
Mm-hmm.
It's not just about the highlight reel, it's about embracing all parts of yourself. So I'm going to be leading us in
Being real.
yeah, being real. So I'm going to be leading us in a women's gathering circle, like the sacred space to dive into that and to also really tap into our inner wisdom and the wisdom of our womb. And a lot of times our womb is this place where we hold those emotions that we suppressed, right? So we hold fear and doubt and shame and guilt and rage in this area. But this is a space that we are meant to create life from. And so what I'm going to be leading us through is how to get in touch with your womb, but also how to create that space and open it so that you're able to feel pleasure and you're able to feel and experience that full spectrum of emotions.
Yeah, absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
That's so beautiful. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
really excited for you to be facilitating those exercises. And I think that
Thank
is
you.
very key and very true that when we are in stress or when we are in doubt or worry or fear or anxiety, we can't access our pleasure.
Mm-hmm.
So it's embracing those emotions, going deep into it and seeing what's underneath it. What's the gift here? How can I grow?
Yeah.
Then that's when we can actually access the deep wholeness that is pleasure and enjoyment and being able to experience the beauty of life, the beauty of your body, the beauty of yourself, instead
Yeah.
of, what so many women I think um, look uh, revert back to is the self-hate and
Mm-hmm.
the judgment, the criticism.
Yeah.
But that kind of story is something that in the Zensual Movement Sisterhood workshops and retreats, we really work to stop that story and to
Mm-hmm.
connect women back into loving themselves, into healing past pain, healing past trauma, and then also supporting their sisters in healing as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So, as
And I
much
think it,
as it is about, oh, go ahead.
and I was going to say, I think it's also just so beautiful that we're bringing together that sisterhood, and that's something that you really focus on cultivating, because women, when we come together and when we gather together and we have this, we focus on this intention of whatever it might be, in this case, growth and expression and embracing our sensuality, there's so much more potency, and it's like magic literally happening. You bring women together in that way. So I know it's going to be like the most magical,
Yeah,
intense, when things feel like they go by in a flash and they also last forever. I feel like that's how it's
absolutely.
going to feel.
That's transformation right there. That's what it
Yeah.
feels like, right? Yeah. Beautiful. So,
Right.
absolutely, yeah. When women come together in sisterhood, it is truly magic. And it's such an amazing experience to feel held and seen and acknowledged for all that you are and have your voice, your struggles, your insecurities, your fear, your pain heard and acknowledged, and then have your dreams, your visions, your aspirations, how you'd love to show up in your life as a sensual, grounded, strong, clear, present woman and what steps you're taking to make that happen. And having the supportive sisterhood in the Zensual Movement Sisterhood Retreat is going to be so amazing. And then, in
Yes.
addition to it being very healing and transformational, and there's fun experiential exercises and vision boards to kind of
Mm,
envision how you want to show up in your life as a sensual woman. There's also going to be amazing dancing. There's going to be, you'll
my
have the
favorite.
opportunity to learn. Yeah, you'll have the opportunity to learn belly dancing, to learn Cuban reggaeton and other various styles of dance, and learning sensual arts from cultures all over the world. Learning touch skill, how to give a sensual massage to yourself or to someone else, how to enjoy and delight in things on such a deep level. And movement, sensual, soulful movement that is infused with yoga, because I'm also a certified yoga teacher and a trauma-informed yoga teacher as well. So I try to balance the two to support if someone
Mm-hmm.
has gone through any kind of, painful, traumatic, perhaps sexual violation or experience like that. This workshop is also very supportive for healing that because personally I overcame that through sensual movement practice that I created. So it has
Amazing.
so much, yeah, it has so much, so many layers, so complex, right, and multidimensional in all that it provides. So you get the movement. So it could be considered an exercise workout program, but it's not, right? It's so much
Mm-hmm.
more than that. It's
Mm-hmm.
it's integrating in the body everything that we're speaking about and talking about. And so allowing movement, as a beautiful soul, Rochelle Sheik says, movement to be medicine. And
Mm-hmm.
through moving, you will be able to access deeper parts of yourself that are very true, they're very raw, very unfiltered. When I do the guided free dance for women in the Zensual Movement Sisterhood workshops, it's always so transformational and profound for them because they get this opportunity to be free and move their body not in ways that society says is sexy or that they have to or they should, but to move their body in ways that feels organic and blissful and joyous and free. And maybe there's pain that they need to dance out. Maybe there's
Mm-hmm.
sorrow they need to dance out. Maybe there's fear they need to dance out. Maybe there is a willingness to embrace their sexuality that they need to dance out. Maybe there's a willingness to embrace the sensuality of their body and their soul and their movement through that kind of freedom. So we tap into so much, and it's so fun, the movement pieces. And then Alyssa, she also facilitates women's circles. So that's another thing that we will be having is we'll be having the opportunity to share and to speak about your experience, to share your wisdom, and to be in a circle with other women. So you want to talk a little bit about that and the
Yeah.
importance of that for women's
Yeah.
health and psychological well-being.
Yeah. So we also plan this according to the moon, right? Because everything I do is either according to the moon or my own cycle, and we're going to be supported by that moon energy, and stepping into, I think it's right before the full moon, right? Is that when we planned
Mm-hmm.
it? Yeah.
I think it's
So
actually after.
right out. Okay, so it's right in that full moon kind of vibe, which I love to gather women around that time, because that's when traditionally women would always gather around the moon.
Native
And
American culture.
yes, and yeah, all over, right? All
So
cultures
old,
used
yeah.
to gather, and women would really come together in that way, and there was no judgment or criticism. Everyone was very open, to hearing and sharing and witnessing each other. And so this is something that I've been facilitating for a while now, over a year, probably years actually, now that I think about it. But it's really about bringing women together and creating that space for us to journey together, towards a destination, towards a goal, and hold and support each other through that. And so really ultimately our purpose is to reconnect ourselves with our bodies so that we can experience whatever it is that we're desiring, whether that's our sensuality or our expression, freedom, and just recognizing what it is that's standing in our way of that, right? Maybe it's not blocks, but it's things that are holding us back and weighing us down. I talk a
Yeah.
lot about how we hold excess weight, whether that be emotional, physical, or energetic, right? It could manifest in so many different ways.
Mm-hmm.
And when we don't really allow ourselves to express that, and we suppress it and we push it down, it gets stuck and locked in our bodies. That's why dance
Yeah.
is like such a perfect pairing with the work that I do, because you're moving it out of your body. And like you said, you can dance it out, right? And so
Yeah.
this women's circle is just going to be a place for us to get in that sacred space of transformation and just really intensify this already transformative container that we're creating, that will be the whole weekend. Is just going to be amazing.
Yes. Yes. Yay. I love that.
Yes.
And that's a beautiful share.
Mm-hmm.
And this retreat, there's a theme going over me, but this retreat is going to be the feminine oasis for your soul that you've been asking for.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
it's such, I think, sometimes an undervalued thing to strengthen and grow inside of yourself is your sensuality, is your
Mm-hmm.
feminine energy as a woman. Because I think so often in our society, in our culture, we're taught to be, productive, achievers, be more in our masculine energy and do. And that is all so necessary and so beautiful for advancement, for growing. But it also can be draining for a
Yeah.
feminine soul to not have that space where they can just be and
Mm-hmm.
feel and recharge and move and be non-linear
Yeah.
and allow yourself to find healing through sisterhood
Yeah.
and connecting with other women and allowing yourselves to be all that you are. That's my biggest mission, is for women to feel free to be all that they are. And
Mm-hmm.
if they have this desire to be more free, to be more authentically expressed in their body, to have more empowerment over their sensual expression, and to let go of shame and past pain, it's my mission so that they can feel free of that,
Yeah.
of letting go of anything that's in their way of truly shining. And that's why I designed each one of these exercises, so that each woman who comes to this retreat is going to feel like she gets to kind of chisel away at all the parts of her that maybe belong to someone else, have been holding her
Mm-hmm.
back from finding her truth, have been disconnecting her from her body. Maybe parts of herself that she is experiencing pain and trauma over and hasn't really ever been able to fully love. I think so many women truly who are outside looking beautiful, or you think they have it all together, but inside they actually hate themselves.
Yeah.
Like that
Yeah.
honestly breaks my heart so much. And so
Yeah.
many of the women who come to my Zensual Movement Sisterhood workshops, when they're sharing what they're wanting to get past and what their intention is in being at the Zensual Movement Sisterhood workshops. One woman, some of them talk about, I want to just not hate myself. I want to not hate my body when I look at it. And I'm like, wow, she's so beautiful. How can she say that?
Yeah.
So that's the thing, that we never know what's going on inside of another woman. And that's why I think this is valuable for everybody, because I think all
Yeah.
of us women, and I think men too, we all can relate to having something we're insecure about, something we can maybe love ourselves more. And maybe it's that you don't stand up and have a strong no when you want to. But part of
Mm-hmm.
that means there's a disassociation from owning your sensuality, owning your truth, owning your power, owning your worth. Because a sensual woman, she is strong. She can say no. She has boundaries. She knows what she wants. She knows what she needs. She enjoys herself. She enjoys her body. She enjoys her life.
Yeah.
So that's why sensuality can be so enriching on a psychological level, on an emotional level, on a spiritual level. And I teach a lot about how your sensuality is very closely linked to your spirituality,
Mm-hmm.
and that can almost be like your prayer. The movement can be your prayer. And I encourage the women, whenever they're going through a challenge in their lives, to pull out their yoga mat and do Zensual movement, which is the sensual movement yoga flow and the free dance and the self-inquiry questions and practices that are a huge part of Zensual movement as well. And it
Yeah.
allows them to shift emotions in the moment and have more emotional freedom. Because when we have emotional freedom, we can tap into our sensuality. But if we're
Mm-hmm.
allowing our emotions to hold us back and control us, we can't actually access that freedom, right?
Right. Right.
Yeah.
And, a piece that I'm also going to be bringing is talking more about food and our relationship with food, right? And creating like a ritual with, I mean, I think you're going to be doing a lot of the cooking, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So with your amazing cooking, creating this ritual and space around that so that we can tap into the way that we nourish ourselves, like at the most foundational level, like how are we nourishing our bodies? And, to kind of touch on what you were saying, where there's women that hate themselves and you look at them and you're like, why? It doesn't make sense. You never know what's going on inside, right? I mean, that was me for the majority of my life. I hated, and the only reason or every reason that I ate or moved my body was to try to change myself. So the intention behind it was actually because of self hatred. It wasn't nourishing myself truly. And because of that, I was never able to see the results that I wanted to see. It always felt like I was stagnant, and it comes down to the way that I was nourishing myself, with food was actually just continuing to feed myself with more self-hate because I was infusing that intention into the food and into the movement. It all came from, okay, I'm going to eat this healthy food because I hate the way I look, and maybe it's going to make me look different, and
Yeah.
so that is one piece that we are going to be addressing as well in this you are eating, and if you're truly nourishing yourself or not, and
Right.
creating that space and this practice for you to continue, even after for the rest of your life, of truly nourishing yourself. And it's not just about what you put in your body, but the intention behind it and how conscious you are as you're doing it, right? Because just as dance can be a prayer and a meditation, so can eating, right? And really, if you're tuned in to that experience of nourishing yourself, it can be
Mm-hmm.
fulfilling and spiritual in every way.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
absolutely. That's so true. It's very much, how are we choosing to love ourselves when we're
Mm-hmm.
choosing to eat, foods that are for our well-being. And then also, I love the piece you said about intention, because that
Mm-hmm.
really coincides also with our touch and with our
Yeah.
hands. And when we are ever, touching our neck casually, or you picking at your face or something, is the thought, I need to fix myself? Is the thought, I'm not good enough? Is the thought, I don't like this part of my body?
Mm-hmm.
Or are your hands, when you are touching your body or, stroking your hair, is it filled with love? Is it filled with
Mm-hmm.
self-love? Filled with,
Mm-hmm.
I am enough. You are good
Yeah.
enough, And if there's a part of your body you're insecure with, placing your hands on that part of the body, saying you are enough. And so those are some of kind of the practices that we'll also be doing in Zensual Movement, and I love that you are bringing that piece, which is so important to see what's our intention and how we're eating. And are we doing it to fuel ourselves, grow ourselves, expand ourselves, or are we doing it to numb, to
Mm-hmm.
hide, right?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that coincides with all fields of life, whether it's eating or, relationships or any activity or anything like that.
Yeah.
And then also in the Zensual Movement Retreat, there's going to be talks about relationships, about sexuality, about your spirituality, about healing from, trauma or past pain, about dissolving jealousy, and
Mm.
talks about what sensuality, and allow that to be your authentic gift and the way you use your voice and the way you show up in the world. Because what I love encouraging women to tap into is that their sensuality can actually be nourishing to their soul. Like
Mm-hmm.
when they're in their sensuality, it means they're in their most authentic, present, free, self accepting, accepting of others, encouraging, whole, self loving state, you know? So that is a beautiful place to be able to get to. And then the play
Amazing.
day, which is the last day, so it's purpose, pleasure, and play. Play is going to be all about really integrating the work that you've done in the 2 days before and really about celebrating and tapping into your inner child because your inner child also has a lot to do with your sensuality and cultivating that freedom and that joy and that playfulness and silliness. And when we get out of our head and we're willing to be silly and do something that is fun, maybe it's in the style of dancing or just a playful exercise, that supports us to tap into the free aspect of our sensuality, the
Mm-hmm.
aspect of our sensuality that doesn't care what anyone's thinking about us. And there's so many studies that show that children respond better to a woman who is alivened in her sensuality because that means that she's safe, because she
Mm.
loves herself.
Yeah. That's
So
so
it's
beautiful.
really
Wow.
ah.
Yeah.
And in all these things, if you are in a relationship, it can even enhance your relationship. So after these
Mm-hmm.
days, you will come back so radiant, glowing, just feeling fulfilled with joy and life and vibrancy. But you'll also have tools around having clear communication in your partnerships to be able to get what you need and what you want, and how
Mm-hmm.
to have healthy boundaries, how to hear your partner better, how to be heard better. So that's a really beautiful part as well that we'll be diving
Yeah.
into.
Yeah.
And I'm also really excited for us to support women in letting go of shame, shame around their sensuality or shame around their sexuality, and kind of embracing those archetypes. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yes. Yes. So we definitely will be talking about, the slut archetype and what society would label people as a slut or a witch or all these titles that we kind of like cringe at when we hear them, and reclaiming um, the other side of it, the empowered version of that, and diving into what that really means. What is a slut? What is a witch? Who gets to call you that? And what the beauty is in that, what the truth is behind that, and how this is also part of just embracing all those parts of you, right? We're not just the light, bubbly, always happy, goody goody girl, right? We're also these other parts as well, the dark, um, the deep, the very like rich and sometimes, sometimes wounded, sometimes scary, sometimes needing something, right? So we're all of these pieces. And the only way for us to really fully stand in our power is when we embrace all of it, right? And accept those other parts of us that maybe we've neglected or that we've denied are really true, disowned, right? And calling those parts of us home, and instead of letting them be something that's disempowering, flipping it around and turning it into something that empowers you to express yourself more fully and to be more powerful.
Totally.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
that. I think that's a really beautiful thing to look at. What would someone who was called the word slut, if you look at the empowering side, it's a woman
Mm-hmm.
who is owning her sensuality.
Yeah.
She's taking ownership of her sexuality. she is an empowered woman. And a lot
Yeah.
of times, labels in society do not support a woman to do that. But
Right.
part of this work is reclaiming and owning your sensuality as yours. It's not what the media says, you know.
Right.
It's not only for a man, it's also your own gift for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
And
Yeah.
sensuality can be an inward focused thing where it's all about self acceptance, discovering your spiritual gifts, and healing and nurturing, which is beautiful. And then there also can be an externally focused sensuality, which is about, luring and being an invitation. Because I think, and play, and I think both of those elements are very important for a woman to tap into so that she's making sure she's bringing in the opportunities in her life that she wants, that she's
Yeah.
drawing in the experiences in her life that she wants, but that she's also having boundaries for the things that she doesn't.
Yeah.
And then when you say the word witch, like back in the day, a woman was considered that if she knew that a dandelion leaf could heal a cut. You know, if she had any kind of intuitive nature, if she, was able to heal people, like
Right.
all of
It's
those things.
basically
So
a
when you
healer,
had,
someone who's in tune with Mother Nature and able to heal. And really, at our
yeah,
core, we all have that power. And
absolutely,
it's
yeah,
been turned into something that we fear, um, not to get too into it, but by patriarchy, so that we become disempowered, so that we don't trust our inner guidance, so that we aren't our
right,
own healers, so that we have to look outside of ourselves to get direction or to, heal or all these other things. We have to now depend on someone else when we already have that power within us.
yeah, absolutely, totally, yeah. I think that this retreat is going to be for all women. And I usually say it's women from ages 17 to 70 and beyond, okay, who want to come.
Yeah.
Because all of us, that's why I call it the sisterhood. We're all sisters. And even if
Mm-hmm.
someone is a mom and they want to take time to just refill themselves and take time to say, I matter, you know, and to kind of have that bath for the soul, maybe that they've been really needing. And I
Yeah.
think that it's so often underrated how important it is to have a circle of women that are supporting you as a woman for your mental, psychological, emotional health and well being. And in
Yeah.
our culture, it encourages people to have walls and barriers, and I got it alone, I can do it on my own. But
Right.
it's like, that's not how we create real connection. That's not how we heal the world. That's not how we use our gifts. Our gifts is when we come together as a collective, supporting each other, uniting. And
Yeah.
so, if you're looking for a tribe of women that you can call sisters, that you can get to know on such a deep, honest, authentic level that will probably be your friends for the rest of your life, this is
Mm-hmm.
going to be an amazing place to do that and find that. And
Yeah.
it's for, if you have any religion, any spirituality, any path, this is not a dogmatic workshop. It is more of a open, let's connect on where we all meet, the middle
Mm-hmm.
ground. And it's
Yeah.
tapping into your spirituality, which is whatever that is for you. And
Yeah.
we honor all paths. So there's going to be no judgment. It's about acceptance, about love, about creating peace, creating healing, whatever you need for your body, for yourself. But even more than it being healing, it's going to be so fun. Like, it's just going to be ridiculously fun. And you're going to be
Mm-hmm.
the most free you've ever felt, the most authentic you've ever felt, the most fully
Mm-hmm.
expressed you've ever felt. And it's
Yeah.
like soul medicine. Like, just all of these exercises are so fun. They're so juicy, so delicious. And
Yeah.
it's such a nourishing thing to take ownership of your sensuality and loving your body, loving yourself, having powerful, amazing relationships with your sisters. And then you can bring that into your life. You can bring that into your work. You can bring that into your marriage, into your relationships, into your family, into your children. The way that you show up when you are loving yourself, you're going to show up that much better for other people. And you're going to be far less judgmental of other people when you accept yourself. Because most of the
Mm-hmm.
times, right, we only ever judge someone else when we're judging ourselves. So
Yeah.
it's a whole really, it's a retreat for all levels. Like if you just want to have a lot of fun, if you just want to tap into your femininity, or if you really want to do some healing work and
Mm-hmm.
you really want to let go of some stuff, or you don't know
Yeah.
what to expect, but you just want to have a beautiful, divine, feminine time and healing experience, then this is absolutely
Mm-hmm.
for you.
But it
So
is a retreat, right? So I think we kind of throw that word around and we hear it a lot, but what that means, it's a very critical part of our cycle as women, not just our monthly cycle, but you know, that is part of it, right? So if we aren't taking that time regularly to retreat and come inward and to tap into what we need, then that's when we get depleted, and that's when we feel like we're pushing all the time. We're not in the flow anymore. So this
yeah,
is like a massive retreat, right? Where you get to take that time in an intensive 3 days where it will just regenerate you and, you know, kind of like take you into this vortex and, you know,
yeah,
lead you out as this like new woman, just like ready to blossom and bloom and having done all of this work, right? Even if you're just in it for the fun and the play, like you're going to get some soul work too, girl, whether you know it or not, you know? And it
absolutely.
is going to be completely transformative. So I am like, I'm so excited. Like, I know I'm going to have so much fun, but I'm excited to see who the women are that decide like, yes, I need this. I'm ready for this. I'm going to commit to this. I'm so excited to
Totally.
hold space for those women.
Yes, me too. Yeah, I know they're going to be amazing, epic people. And the beautiful thing is that every woman who comes to the Zensual Movement Workshop or retreat, she is already an amazing person.
Of
And
course.
then, so it's not about you needing to go to the retreat to become amazing. It's like you already are that. But every woman at the end of the retreat in the workshop, she always says, I feel 10,000 pounds lighter.
Hmm.
And she is glowing, she is radiating, and she's let go of all the blocks, all the barriers that were in her way of actually showing up as her true authentic self that was always inside there.
Hmm.
That was that version of freedom and femininity and grace and fluidity that she always dreamed about but didn't recognize that that was inside of her.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so excited to see that and even women watching this, if there's someone in your life who they have this spark inside of them, but maybe they've lost that spark or they've gone through challenges or painful experiences and they want to get that spark back. This is a place to get that spark back. Like,
Yes,
absolutely.
absolutely.
So,
Get your groove back.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, to talk a little bit about the details, um, as we said, it is October 19th to the 21st in Colorado. It's going to be in a gorgeous mansion in nature, and we are aligning it so that it can be close to the airport so that travel can be easy and efficient if anyone is flying from out of state or out of country to want to come to this workshop. And the original price is 1,200, and we're going to be having an amazing early bird sale and discount
Hmm.
so that if you get a ticket now up until September 15th, it will be $800. So that is a massive gift.
Massive.
And yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
pretty amazing. So
Yeah.
that's an incredible deal and discount on this incredible, profound, impactful retreat. And I'm just so excited for people who get to come. And if anyone is watching this and they're saying, I really want to come, but I don't know if I have that kind of money. Well, we don't want money to be something in the way of you actually being able to experience this. So, if you need to reach out to myself or Alyssa to come up with ideas about how to make that money or ways that you could raise it, we're totally available to support you in that. And then also, if you wanting to come with friends or soul sisters, you guys can put money together to come. So no excuses. Really tune into if this is for you, choosing it, claiming it, and saying yes to yourself because you deserve this and you're worthy and beautiful. And we want you to see that and know that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Yeah,
I'm so excited. Yay.
me too. This is so amazing. So we
Yeah.
have a link down in the bottom where if you're ready and super excited and a full on yes, you can purchase the tickets to the retreat and we'll have that in the link below. And then of course, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. We're going to be probably doing some more talks, maybe even a
Hmm.
webinar about sensuality so that you can kind of get to experience more of us. And I'm really excited for you, Alyssa, for what you're going to
Yes.
bring. And I'm so
Thank
grateful
you.
to connect with you. And I'm excited for